Hari Om. Our next speaker is none other than my mother, Sumatha Nayak, a spiritual business leader and a mother to many, running a successful ashram and also successful business. Would you like to share some insights on the business and spiritual journey? How do you balance spiritual life and business life, family life, and personal life?
Sri Krishna Vande Jagat Guru. With you, I'm happy, very happy and thrilled, and it's a proud moment for me to have this conversation with you in your
For me too.
YouTube channel, Black Beauty 358.
Yeah, coming to that word, how that actually came is I had a bike which was black in color, but now I relate the black beauty to the fearless form of Krishna, who is in many different forms. So yeah.
So, you spiritual businesswoman. So, this is what you have.
Spiritual business leader, I would say.
Okay. Yes, leader. So, you cannot, because if you can't separate spirituality and business, because if you have to weigh an apple, how will you decide the weight of an apple? With its skin, pulp, seed, everything you can't remove. So we all are spiritual beings. We all are spiritual beings. Swami Vivekananda says every human being is potentially divine. To manifest the divinity is one and only purpose of human life. Business also comes in that. So once, maybe as a young adult, I have read this quote of Swami Vivekananda, which says something like this, not the exact words. Right now, you should be able to plow your land and take the whatever you want to take from that field, whether it is vegetables or paddy or whatever. The next moment you should be able to go to the market and sell that product, bargaining or asking for the best price. The very next moment you should be able to come home and read scriptures, and you should be able to tell it to or explain it to the people who are not aware of the scriptures. And the very next moment you should be able to enter into your deep self samadhi. So this is life, should be the goal of human life. So you can't separate the business from your spirituality, because everyone end of the day has to go to your own deep inner self.
So it's very insightful actually. See here, what I'm able to catch is one is Swami Vivekananda, a great leader, and you're running a ashram based on the philosophies of Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna, and about close to I think 80 people are staying there. Not a small thing. From nothing, it's become a very big thing, and I also wish for the upcoming 100 feet statue you guys have planned of the Vivekananda in Karkala. And see, coming back to you said we all are divine. So each soul is potentially divine, is what you say. And then we have to plow something, take it to the market, and make a living for ourselves. And the goal of human life. But so this is why I like to interview with you, because you're a combination of spirituality and business. Because see, we have many spiritual leaders, but they have come out of the business world. So it is easier to come out of the business world and preach spirituality, but to be in the business world and follow spirituality at the same time, more than you're giving back, you're earning and giving spirituality at the same time. This is what the society actually needs. But what we are seeing is people are leaving everything aside, like the personal life, the professional life. People feel spirituality is leaving the personal and professional life aside and attaining God. So if we see Buddha, So he left his wife and child without intimating them. He just left. So even though I am a follower of Buddha as well, but I still feel personally that some things what Buddha has done is not right when it comes to a perspective of being a husband or a father. He has to or had the responsibilities of the family. Okay, he went, he attained enlightenment and then came back. His wife asked him one question. She said, "You could have at least told me you're going. You just left without saying anything much." So, what do you have to say on this?
Ritvik, one thing is that what is the in which state Buddha was in. See, when the fire engulfs you, that you want to reach your goal or you want to attain your own self, you want to know who are you in real, everything becomes like, no, it is it is said it is your shikha is on the fire, so you don't know anything, you just want to. And that was there in his destiny also. That is why his parents kept him away from the suffering. They never allowed him to go out and see the suffering. Once he sees the suffering of the people, he sees old age, he sees death, and suddenly he realizes whatever was his own, his personal life becomes the less important to him, because if end of the day he was a prince also, he had the responsibility of the kingdom also. When he sees the suffering of the people and at the same time he sees a person, a monk who is in samadhi, who is in his own bliss, so he gets to know that the ultimate aim, or you can get happiness to, in order to avoid the suffering, you have to transcend the suffering. That is possible when only when you reach the ultimate happiness, which is never ending happiness. For that cause he lives. It is not that the cause is much bigger than the what he had. Of course it is, if you see from the personal point of his wife and children, yes, it was, maybe it was definitely not, maybe it is painful for them, but it was for a greater cause. So it was written in our scriptures also, for your own, if your cause is your state or your country, definitely you should sacrifice your personal life. If you can say same thing in Sri Ramachandra Prabhu Ramachandra's life also. Like, no, you can see he's leaving, or that is one side, like, no, I don't want to enter into that. He's sacrificing his wife for a greater cause. So it is, what is the cause? If there is a country for
But
both.
don't you think that his wife deserved to know that he's going on the journey? I don't think she would have stopped him. But don't you think she deserved to know?
Yeah, everything, yeah, see, she has got her own points, you have got your own points, but like I said, when the fire, you are on the fire, you just, you everything, just you only one goal, you sees only one thing, like, no, all other things goes away from your mind. Yes, but he comes back, and whatever, and with a, he gives such a beautiful a fruit for whatever he had to struggle for a long time. It's not that he just left his wife and he just enjoyed his life. No, he had to, for without food, without anything, he sat for years together to get the realization.
So,
Yeah.
so when you say realization, what is realization? What did Buddha achieve after realization? Don't you do do you think we can achieve realization being part? See, I'm not trying to find Buddha's mistake, but from a husband's perspective, from a father's perspective, is it possible to be a part of the family life, part of the business world? Because one has to make a living and one has to provide, especially being a man has to provide. And is it possible to achieve enlightenment at the same time? And secondly, what is enlightenment?
One thing is, when you are purely depend upon God, God takes the responsibility of your family. That is 100% sure.
So
So
you
what?
think God was not with Buddha?
No, that's what. When, if he surrendered to God, and if his whatever he wanted, his intention was real, and he was truthful to himself. There is no self conceit. So he has not done it. He was not running away from the duties. He was not, that was never in his mind. He only one thing he wanted to know, that how to get, see, he saw the suffering man, he saw the old age, he saw a dead body.
So
So
yeah,
he
so
wanted to know how to transcend all these things. So for eternal happiness, eternal peace, because all this is transitory, everything is a passing show. He's saying today it is there, tomorrow it is not there. He's seeing only pain. Till then he was inside the palace. He had never seen pain. But once he saw the pain, he wanted to know how can I transcend the pain. So he was in search. He was in search of eternal happiness, which cannot be taken away by anybody.
so as you said, yesterday, tomorrow, right, wrong. So do you think it's not what we think? It's, I think, written in the Bhagavad Gita that it's a Maya we are living in. So sometimes what we think is real turns out to be unreal, and sometimes what we think is unreal turns out to be real. And coming to the next point about suffering, because this is also something I've been working very hard on recently. I saw a child on the, we all see so many I think the beggars and the sellers on the street. I saw a small guy. With my wife and daughter, we were just passing by a street, and there was a small girl aged about 5 years, and she was trying to sell a balloon, and she was barely, she looked very messy, and I felt very sad. I felt very sad because there are many people like this, and what can we really do about it? Because see, one thing is, okay, it could be a racket where people are running this kind of thing, but from the child's perspective, the child is still a human being, and I feel definitely nobody deserves to be in that state of mind where one doesn't have food and shelter. So, don't you think people should work on this bigger cause? But what we are seeing, the trend is that the materialism, okay, that is part of the human tendency to go after materialism. It's a part of the process, and then one gets to enlightenment. But what are we really doing to eliminate this suffering and poverty, especially from an Indian perspective, where we are about 1.4 billion population, and there are so many without the jobs, so many without money. Okay, government is doing their bit, but what can the other people also do about it?
One important thing is that Swami Vivekananda says educate people, because India, you have got, the government has provided so much for the education, free education for the people. You cannot say that like no. I mean, of course, these things are part of life, and so many things are there behind this. If you go to that direction, there are so many things we have to research. But one thing, we to make it simple for the problem is education. Swami Vivekananda also says how to those days women were not empowered, and they had lot of issues. So only one thing Swami Vivekananda felt is educate. So now also we have so many schools
No,
are there. There are
definitely,
so many schools without
yes.
children. There are so many government schools. There are no children at all. So people are, government is providing the best for the
Yes,
education.
yes.
So, and even when it comes to unemployment, there are so many areas where we are getting not getting skilled labor.
Why do you think this still exists? Because we are seeing every day. Why are not people going and educating these people that such kind of free education is available, and government of India is providing free midday meals through Hare Krishna, and all this has to be, I think it is not communicated well, or I don't know what it is, but somehow, like you rightly said, we have to educate people, the underprivileged, on
One thing
these
is that
aspects.
they don't want to be. See, for example, few years back, there were a group of women who were begging in the street. So we wanted to, as a group of women, we wanted to empower them. We said, see, we will give you a job. So come, these jobs are available. We will give you per day. You will get this much of salary. No, they don't want to do it. They, it has become their lifestyle, going and begging, taking the children. So it is a, that's what I said. Lot of research has to be done if we are talking about it. So definitely education is one way we can eradicate poverty, or we can definitely like the quality of life can be improved.
What's the trend of youth in India? Are they inclined spiritually and professionally? Because we are seeing many youth who are not just doing anything about their life and just wasting time, maybe.
No, I don't. Of course, wasting time. It is each of everyone's perspective. Because see what the parents have given them, like no maybe their goal of their life. So most of the time, see all this. If you see a couple of decades back, we were not this rich. So only one and only intention of the parents were to make the children, to educate them and send them to foreign country, and they get a very good job with good salary. So this was the only like no goal of human life just couple of decades back. Now it's not like that. We all are, we know that money cannot bring youth. Now they know that money cannot bring everything. Money cannot bring the internal contentment which you are seeking. I'm seeing you the other day. Saw yours and Ajay's interview. So I saw, my God. I mean, you already you are thinking about dharma. You are thinking about karma. You are thinking about the internal contentment. So that's the reason now youth are taking yeah, a break from their jobs, and they are going on travel, and so many you can see spiritual gurus have come up, and youngsters are following them, whether they get the right understanding or not, but they are seeking something more than the this materialistic wealth. They are seeing more, kind of like no spiritual happiness. I feel.
What are the steps one should take to be successful in life? How would you define success? What is success?
For me, success, you remain rooted in your own self, which is like no everlasting peace and bliss, happiness. Your own in whatever may be the external circumstances, you don't get influenced by that, and you remain in your own glory, the glory of your own self. Don't, if you don't get affected, people may say so many things happen. I mean, so many tests will come, and of course it is a like not changing flux, eternal world, external world, it is a changing flux. In similar way, we do have so many internal desires are there, the passions are there. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Ahankara, Mada, Matsara, all these things are internal enemies. So can you remain unaffected with all these things, external world and internal world, and can you go to your own inner self, innermost self, whenever you want to go? Just can you just detach yourself? Because everything is as passing show. How much ever money you are having, like you always say, this is one phrase I always, how much we need, like not to for a content life. We are in Manipal, such a beautiful place. You can go for a walk.
Yes.
There is no pollution, and we are getting enough food to eat, and there is a shelter. And like no, of course, you have a car whenever you want. You can go out, and by God's grace, you have got a healthy body. So when we are having all these things, if we can remain unaffected by the external circumstances and our own internal enemies, if we can remain rooted in our own self anytime we want, I feel that is the success. And of course, you should be part of the society. You should be able to help the people who are underprivileged and who seek help. And you should be depend upon God, and you should be catch the hands of God, and you shall come with me. So if you can develop that kind of maturity, so I feel that is the success of human life.
Yes, I had read a quote in Bhagavad Gita where, Krishna says, hold me close to you. Like, always we should hold his legs so tight that he's always with us. So, what kind of youth would make a great India?
One youth rooted in values, because what happens is now success is in your fingertips, because it is easy for you, because you, I mean, today's youth are educated. they are very intelligent, and by God's grace, they have got good physique also. So, with all these things, can you be rooted in your values, your tradition, your culture? Then nobody can shake you. Then otherwise, what happens is you will be taken away by that flooding water of worldliness. So, if you can remain, if the youth can remain rooted in values, the compassion, or the whatever
So
dharma.
how would one remain rooted in values? So who brings the values?
Read the scriptures, read the Bhagavad
So
Gita.
you
That's
you
one thing.
recommend the Bhagavad Gita.
Definitely, Bhagavad Gita is song of life, and if you everything is written in Bhagavad Gita. If you can finish the 18, even one shloka, if you read, you can find the fulfillment of your life, because every shloka, every verse in Bhagavad Gita has got lot of meaning and secret of life, how you can unfold your spirituality. All these things are, if you can study Bhagavad Gita, I feel each and every one of us, like, no, because every religion has got their own scriptures. So for us Hindus, Bhagavad Gita is one scripture which it contains everything. It is quite called Bhagavad Gita, the song told by God Himself. So everything, for whatever may be your nature, whatever may be your, wherever you are right now, see, there is place for everyone, from a sinner to a saint. Everyone can make use of Bhagavad Gita, and from wherever they are standing, from that point they can go ahead. Whatever may be, whatever karma they might have done till then, from that point they can go ahead. This is Bhagavad Gita.
So I personally feel that one only after being a sinner one becomes a saint. Is that true? Because what I read about Buddha also is that he was a sinner and then he became a saint. Is that true?
It's not that sin and I mean sainthood it is not. See, if you go to the ultimate standpoint, there is no sin or there is no sainthood. If you transcend the nature, there is no, everything is a learning experience for you. How you are going to learn from that experience? So, what is sin? Which is taking you away from the truth, which is taking you away from happiness, which is taking you away from that peace. That is sin,
So
which is dragging you down.
do you think it is ultimately the truth that leads to the path of God?
Definitely, because God is truth, God is love. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Vijnanam Anandam Brahma. Satyam, truth is God. If you are untruthful, you can't reach God. At least not to others. Others you can show anything. True to yourself.
So how to be in the, because this is one thing I have been facing, being from entrepreneur's perspective, being in the business world and being truthful at the same time takes a very long time to attain things. So we see the business world is not really a truthful place. People lie over and over. But so how to achieve this balance, being in the business world and following the righteous path?
It is end of the day, it is your personal journey. What do you want to do in your life? Of course, if you want to catch that business world and you have to run behind it, you have to chase it, and but there you can see Tatas, how they have come up. So there is something like, if you follow the values also, you may be reaching little late, but you will reach there.
Yes.
With lot of happiness, with lot of contentment, you will reach there. So there is no shortcuts. If you want to have the personal growth along with the business growth, you have to travel that path.
So what is spirituality to you?
Spirituality, living in rooted in God, the life centered in God, and always feeling the presence of God.
So when you say God, is God real? So how do we? So in my previous conversation, Ajay linked God to sun. So what we see, yes. So can we link God to the nature?
God is including nature. It is all pervading nature. I'll give you a simple example. When you say I, doesn't it cover throughout whatever your body, your mind, your intellect, your feelings,
The mind, the body, the soul, and the heart.
heart, everything. You matlab all these things. So you are, if you see, take that example itself. The God is you. Even when you are asleep, none of these things are working. Even then, you continue to exist. You are going to come back again. You, that you is there. That is continuing. When you are in deep sleep, you are not even aware. You are not even aware. You are just, your body is just fallen there on the bed. Your mind is not working. When you are in deep sleep, not in dream. Dream mind is working. But when you are in deep sleep, mind is also not working. You are in a state of nothingness, ajnana. There is ignorance, only ignorance. You don't even know you exist, but you exist, right? That is that eternal existence, the consciousness, that is God.
State of bliss.
Yes, that is why we call Satyam, Jnanam, Brahman. We call it Brahman. Consciousness. It is not, I mean, even if, that is why, even when after death, it continues. Because that energy, that continues. So even when you are in deep sleep, you remain to exist. That time you are one with that pure existence. When you are in deep sleep, you are in one with that pure existence which is eternal. It is like ocean and waves. The waves are our all the human beings' lives, but ocean remains there. This cannot be described. Brahman cannot be described. What is Brahman? That is why we just Om, indication Om.
So, do you think divinity is different for everybody?
That is, see, it's now divinity is not different for everybody. Divinity is always the same, but how it gets expressed through. Now, how with the sun rays, how it will get through, goes through the mirror and a wood. So what is your state of existence? How much divinity you can express? Divinity is always constant. How much you can, if you become transparent, then you can express the divinity. And expression of divinity is sainthood. If you will be able to express the divinity through your mind and body complex, if you always remain transparent, there is no self-conceit. You are something for others, you are something for yourself. This is self-conceit. That should not be there. You are always the same, like Ramana Maharshi. Anybody can go anytime. Swami Nityananda. They are the same. Nityananda, I mean, Kalinga Nityananda, Swami Nityananda. So many Nityanandas there, so I'm scared to talk about that name. So, like Swami Vivekananda, there is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. They are all saints. Shirdi Sai Baba. So, they are always transparent. So, they have manifested the divinity. So, that's why Swami Vivekananda says each soul is potentially divine. Everybody can attain that state.
One free mantra you would give to the youth, because why I'm asking this question is, now I'm seeing many platforms online selling mantras. Because for me, as a born Hindu and GSB, the part of our upbringing gave us free mantras, but now it has become like a business and people are selling mantras. So I wish you gave one free mantra to the youth.
There are so many mantras on Krishna, mantras on Shiva, so many, and Goddess, Divine Mother. So many mantras are there, but one thing, we have to understand, believe in ourselves. So that one thing, if you take it, because everybody, see, universal mantra one cannot give, because there may be followers of Krishna according to your temperament. If you are having Vishnu aspect in you, you will like Krishna. If you are having Shiva aspect in you, you will like Shiva. If you are having the Durga aspect in you, you will like Shiva, Shakti. So you cannot give a universal mantra for all. But one mantra, if you ask me, is Aham Brahmasmi. So this one mantra if you can, this is our Hinduism's the most beautiful and most profound mantra, where you say Aham Brahmasmi. That means I am that Brahman. So that is how you will go back to your own self, from where you will come back again to like no, if the Divine Mother wills, to teach the world, or you can remain in your own self, and you, that is how you will be the best version of yourself. You will get the best out of you. So when you say Aham Brahmasmi, it is you have to, all tapasya you have to do. Aham Brahmasmi means you can't have anything which is against your divinity. So that is a, once again, that's a journey. So when you say Aham Brahmasmi, you will be ultimately going to your own self.
But when you say Aham Brahmasmi, so there I sense some ego, because Aham itself is described to ego. So do you think this Aham, will it affect the business and spiritual journey?
No, no, that is, there is a surrendered ego. That is why I said, when you are telling Aham Brahmasmi, there
Yes,
cannot be
because it is a
anything.
wide perspective. When we say Aham Brahmasmi, and if we give this message to the youth, maybe it could be taken in different ways.
No, no,
So
that is why there is a, that's why I said it is a path. It's not a one day journey. It has to be practiced. That's why I said it is tapasya. Tapasya means when you say Aham Brahmasmi, it is you are uncovering the all the qualities which is against the bliss. For example, which is giving you pain, which is keeping you bound. You have to get rid of all the qualities, and you have to remain in that state. That's what even Buddha did. That everything, you just let go everything, and you just try to see who are you in real. Then if you say you are not that, neti 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 neti, we go, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, then finally we say Aham Brahmasmi. You are getting carried away by desires, then you will sit and you will say Aham Brahmasmi, I am not these desires.
so do you think the answer lies within?
Yes.
So that is what I could relate to Aham Brahmasmi.
Yes.
So that was the spiritual side of our conversation. So coming to the business side, so would you like to share what you do? You have a platform, mental wellness platform, where you're giving holistic approach, and you have already helped many people in many ways by this holistic approach, and you're also part of pharmaceutical leading pharmaceutical distribution business, and a great ashram by the river. So would you like to share some information on these things?
I actually, what exactly you wanted to know?
What exactly is the starting with the ashram? So what it is, if one wants to come there, what could they expect there?
Actually, ashram is it's a pure spiritual ashram. It is how the Ramakrishna tradition is going in similar way. It is more of like no like inward journey, where you will be taught. There will be Gita classes, there will be Upanishad classes, there will be yoga, and also meditation, and also there is karma yoga. You can be part of the activities of the ashram. So it is a pure inner journey, where if anybody wants to know the spiritual side of themselves, they can come there. And also it is for the people, once their duties of life is over, they can come there and stay as vanaprasthis. So that is also, the ashram is meant for them also.
And about the mental wellness platform, you're running a program called Brahma Muhurta, which starts at 4 a.m. in the morning. I think the right time to connect to God. So, would you like to give some information on this program?
Yes, Brahma Muhurta Sadhana is, it's between 3, we get up at 3:45, and it starts by 4:15, from 4:15 to 5:15. Why Brahma Muhurta? Because this is the time The nature is also transparent, and you are also in your best self. You are not covered by your vasanas, that is tendencies, and you are in that state where you can take things. You are, that resistance is not from there your side, and also the nature is in that state, it is going to reveal, it is in the state of revelation. So when you are in that state, when you sit, it is easy for you to know your own self, because the nature also helps. So it is when the nature, divine, and you both are in that one that's alignment, then it is easy for you to go deep in your own self and to identify your own self and be one there. So this is what we are doing in through our platform called Samyak Disha, from 4:15 to 5:15.
So, what is a typical day like for you?
Typical day is, of course, day always I try to remain one with God, at least keep remain surrendered. So it starts early in the morning. So first 3.5 hours goes in my own spiritual practices or exercise or whatever. First 3.5 hours. So whatever I want to do, first 3.5 hours of the day from early morning. Then you know that all the business activities, and again evening time, it is only for ourselves. This is one important thing we all should know, that end of the day nobody is there for anybody. We all have to, everybody has this responsibility of taking their destiny in their own hands, because Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Uddhare Atmanam Atmanam Na Atmanam Avasade. We are the creator of our own destiny. We are, our Uddhara is in our own hands. The other, nobody would come if tomorrow we are suffering. Every one of us has to suffer alone. So it is in our hands. The freedom is in our hands. The suffering is also in our hands. So which you are going to choose? So I feel after 6 o'clock nobody should work. So it should be till the till you sleep. These 4-5 hours should be kept for our own evolution. You can, I of course I read, and I do my upasana and meditation, and whatever things I can learn from the saints, because life is a continuous learning. Nobody should think that I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm like, no, I'm Aham Brahmasmi, so I know everything. No, it is a continuous process. So you have to keep on reading from the saints. No, you should not read from the people who are not realized. This, otherwise it is waste of time.
3 habits successful entrepreneurs should have.
One thing is that the 3 habits, we should be always ready to take risk, because success and failure are part of business. So that internal stability one should have, that to take both failure and success in business, that risk taking capacity one should. If you don't have that strength of the mind, there spirituality comes into picture. If you are rooted in God, you know that okay, today it happened, tomorrow it will be good for me, it's okay, I can face this, nothing has gone wrong. So this internal risk taking this thing. And of course it is a continuous learning. We have to learn from others or our own mistakes. We should be open for learning. We should not think that I am the boss and I am not supposed to, like, no, I know everything. So that aspect we should not have. So this, and third thing I feel that we have to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. When we think good for all, so good happens to us. So these 3 things I feel every entrepreneur should have.
What are the benefits of being an entrepreneur?
You are your own boss, and there is infinite possibilities. You can do anything. You have got 24 hours, and the capacity of the mind and intellect is so much. For me, that is why I got it from my father. Like, when he is such a great entrepreneur, whatever he used to find the business opportunity there. Oh, can we do this? Can we do that? He always, his intellect is so sharp, and not for himself. He never kept anything for himself. Whatever he had or whatever he was having, the wealth is shared by all. So it is not for greed. It is to help others. It is just the tendency of the brain, that whatever we feel that, oh, I can see the opportunity, business opportunity here. So I feel that is the greatest strength of any entrepreneur, that everything is open for all. There is no boundaries.
What are the biggest challenges you face as an entrepreneur?
Biggest challenge is of course it is one thing is to hear people are not that evolved about professionalism. So if you if you are expecting somebody to do some kind of work, it will be like, no, you can't, that 100% people are not ready to give. So this is there in every field. Like, if you go to your vendor also the same thing, and if you go to your customer also, they take you for granted. So that respect and that professional attitude is missing in here in so many fields, I feel.
The last but not the least, you're doing so much around water. Would you like to share something on that?
Yes, life essentials. Water is life essential, because water is very essential for life. But today we have contaminated water to the maximum level. It is very sad, because when we were young, when we get this bottled water, they used to get from borewell, and I used to feel that, oh, borewell is the purest water we are getting from the beneath the rock. As young children, like now 13 14, we used to. But now we see the where water, any depth you go, 500 feet, 600 feet, the water has got contaminated. So this is responsibility of each one of us to give back life to water, because till now water was giving life to us. Now we have to give life to the water, because it has become lifeless. It is very sad to see the water is getting contaminated with, already contaminated with so many things. So I feel each and every one of us should contribute to give back life to the water in whichever way possible for us. So there are so many ways, and it's a big, huge subject. But if you become sensitive to nature, at least whatever in my house, I will not contaminate. From my factory, I will not contaminate the water. At least let us be that much
This
sensitive.
pro environment behavior kind of culture should come on in
Yes,
everyone.
because otherwise you for you it is okay. You will get the water now, bottled water now 20 rupees. After 10 years, it may be 100 rupees, 200 rupees for one bottle. But what you are giving it to your children?
Yes, and
You
what
are
about the animals? What about
yes,
the
animals. And now if you see the plants, now it is just the start of the winter. If you look at the plants are becoming lifeless, because this is the kind of water they are also getting. So it is the whole nature is going to get affected if the water, which is essential for the life of each and every creature on this earth, is going to contaminated like this.
So that's it from my end.
Thank you.
Uh, it was a very nice interactive session. One last question, and what is the your message for the youth?
Youth, you are the there is no message to be given to youth, because today's youth is very evolved and they're very intelligent, and just be rooted in your own self, and try to understand who are you in real, and just be sensitive to elders in the family, and your next generation, you are evolved, next generation needs lot of guidance, because today's generation have come up with the mobile in their hands, the present generation. So they need your guidance, so guide them, get try to take them out of the mobile world, and because you are the creator of their destiny. So that's it.
Thank you.